It's 8:04. I'm Tori. Thanks so much for joining me in the Hometown Morning Show. My special in-studio guest is Steve Sturgeon from Confidential Deconstruction Company. You say data, I say data. Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Okay. We were talking earlier about some of the things you need to, both business and personal, what you need to get rid of, how you get rid of it. It's very, very important on a personal level to get rid of certain things correctly. You can't just throw them in the garbage. Identity theft is a huge thing. You have to be careful. Now I want to talk about things like hard drives. Because we use on a personal and business level, we use the computers are everywhere. So how do we do that? What do we need to talk about?
Well, there's so much electronic media out there that people either do or don't realize that they exist. But from your cell phone, which has your SIM cards and your photos and your private information and your contacts and the like, to your hard drives on your computer, and all those little disks that you kept someplace that are stored for your, whether they're floppy disks or the 3.5 inch discs, your VHS tapes with your pictures and records and the like, DVDs or CDs that you stored information on, all that electronic media can get in the hands of the wrong people, or it's just something you don't want other people to have. So your typical paper shredder that you can get out of an office supply store does not handle those kinds of products.
No.
And we do a great deal of electronic media and product destruction. So if there are things, whether you're business or personal, that you want to ensure doesn't get into the wrong hands, then you need to look for someone who can handle the electronic waste.
Steve, give me an example of something that is so important that we're just overlooking as, because it's not something, this is your business, so it's not something we think about, but we should. And with your help, what should we be getting rid of and how should we be getting rid of it?
Well, just think about as technology has changed and changed so rapidly over the last 10 years, that how many times have you changed from one laptop to another?
Uh-oh.
And that hard drive that's in the laptop that you're leaving,
okay,
it doesn't erase anything, okay, when you leave it. And you can try to erase it or remove some of the things, but basically that hard drive is full of everything that you had, knew, or wanted.
Now, wait, but let me ask you this question, and I don't know if I want the answer. I recently took my computer in and I took the old one in, I traded it in for a new one. You get a couple $100 for the old one, and in front of me, they erased, and I'm putting erased in air quotes here, everything that was on there. So they say, is that not true? Does stuff still stay in there?
Stuff still stays in there.
Steve, I knew I didn't want to ask that. Yeah. Really?
Really. Yeah. You hear it every day on the news. I mean, from a legal standpoint, and you hear all the law enforcement agencies, they capture computers all the time and take data off of erased or just information that's been destroyed. I mean, we certainly have heard enough of it in the last 3 years. But you
can take care of it. So if I want to get rid of a computer safely, or just pieces, hard drives, flash drives, disks, you can do it safely.
We actually do it on site. We have a device that's called a data destroyer, and it basically handles, and let's say a hard drive, it'll come out in pieces a little longer than the size of my thumb, but it'll take a full hard drive and break it up into small pieces in a matter of seconds.
That really is the suggested way to do this kind of thing. If you don't want people, businesses, companies, anyone getting your information and getting it into the wrong hands, you really should be smart about this stuff.
Absolutely. And the other side of the picture is being green. We actually when we take in a laptop or a desktop or computer that's being recycled, we basically if we give the customer two choices. We're either going to recycle the whole thing just as you just described, and we won't do anything with the hard drive, or we will actually remove the hard drive, shred it, and then we'll recycle the remaining material, because that does have material in it that is recyclable and can be reused.
Unbelievable. You are greener than green. I'm so proud of you, Steve. I really am, because I'm a big recycler. I love doing that. I love thinking about, our environment, earth, and all of that kind of stuff. So not only are you taking care of us, our information, making sure we're safe, but you're doing it in a way that helps the environment, which is so cool. Are we forgetting anything that we need to tell our listeners right now?
Well, just two pieces of information. One, relative to being green, every ton of paper is 17 trees. So if we shred a ton of paper and get it recycled, you've basically saved 17 trees.
That's amazing.
And the other item you mentioned earlier that you brought up at the start of this segment was relative to you can't just throw things away.
No.
What a lot of people still don't realize is that your trash can is public property. So if you put shredded material, even from your home office shredder, into that trash can, anybody can take it.
That is scary. What?
Yeah, it is, and that's a court ruling.
That is so important. Steve, say that one more time, because I don't think we realize that that's the case. Say that one more time. This is important information. Listen right now to what Steve is saying.
Material in your trash can, business or personal, is public property.
So even if you shred something, even if you throw it away, even if you put coffee grounds on it, someone can dig that out, and it's okay. It's not against the law.
Not against the law. Court ruling.
All right, we need to contact you. Steve Sturgeon, Confidential Data Deconstruction Company. There are two ways you can get a hold of Steve in the office there. It is 257-9970. Let me give you that again, 257-9970. Or you can go to the website, which is shredderonsite.com, shredderonsite.com, and site is the short way, SITE, Shredder on Site. Steve, pleasure having you here. Thanks so much for taking the time explaining why this kind of thing is so important. Let's start 2018 out the right way by giving your office a call and taking care of those papers and hard drives and everything else that we don't want to fall into the wrong hands.
Tell your listeners that if you're shredding a box of paper, I don't know how long it's going to take them in their home office shredder. It will take us about 1 minute to shred an entire box. And you're a time saver too. Steve Sturgeon, thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure. Thank you so much.